I need to know, should this thing be shown initially to the user or not? Let's have that be dependent on the game designer. But I go look at that object and say, are you currently active? I could just say active, but active in hierarchy says, is your parent also active all the way back to the top? I might just be looking at an object and it says, yeah, I'm active, I'm doing stuff. But it's sub-parented underneath some object that is inactive, which means it won't be doing anything. So I like to use active in hierarchy when I make this happen. So now my update is going to go try to get the key. Get key down escape. Let's change my time scale. Time is stopped. Time goes back. And we need to flip it. Is showing equals not is showing. Talk to my menu, set its active to be the opposite of itself. Obviously something went wrong there. Menu. There we go. Let's try that. I want this canvas to not show up initially, so it's inactive. Play the game. I don't need to see the stats. Did I spell escape right? Did not. Perfect. Escape. One more time. Click. Yes. Escape. Paused. Okay, that's the opposite of what I wanted. Started off empty. Okay, it's going. I hit escape. It should have paused it, but it did not. Only pauses it. What have I done? Let's debug this code. I want to swap it every time, and this is doing the swap. Is showing equals not is showing. Menu set active.
With it's never. Should you set is showing at the very beginning to the opposite, whatever? I don't know what the default booleans are. Is it false? So
Yes, yes. I had my semantic logic down with my words is showing. Yes. Escape. Aha. Now, because I just stopped time, the update loop is still running. It's still adding forces. It's not actually executing them, but these forces are building up and building up inside our object. And so if I hit escape again, that's why they go so fast. They kept on accumulating forces even though time was not going because their update was still happening. It stopped other types of updates in the game loop, but not the update function itself. So I can add more bots and watch them run because they're like, hey, I'm in the world, I want to do stuff. Zoom. The more I pause it, the more the forces build up and the more it runs away. So that's why I've started making the other one happen as well. Here is pause. Let's see what I have to do here. I basically want to tell every object to call some method. Every object needs to go do something. Well, let's get my objects. Go find all the game objects. For each game object in my array, send message options don't require receiver. This is a connection now, sort of a message being sent out from this one who detected the escape to every other object in the whole game, saying if you have a function called onPauseGame, it's time to run that function. So let's see if we can just make that happen here. Seek script. Bool paused equals false. Void on pause game. Swap your paused out. And then capture all of this stuff inside a paused catch. Does that work for us? Escape, add more bots. Let's wait a second. Some of them went really fast, some of them did not go fast at all. Let's see that again. Let's just run it, escape, hang out for a second, hit escape again. They're not going super speed. That pause message was received for them, and it got things working. Oh, wait a second. That was weird. Should not be going fast. Yes. Paused equals not paused. Should be swapping it. False. True. Oh, I see what happens. Yes. We need to do the same thing in the else. And if we're just swapping that pause, I mean, ultimately, we would want to make a on resume game. So different things can happen. If you're an object that needs to manage some things when you pause, you can do that and then pick them back up when you resume. The only thing I'm going to do is just swap a flag. So this works for both of them. Let's put that on the outside. And that should fix it. Escape. Escape. No super speed, cross your fingers. No super speed. Yes. Perfect. But our new bots love to zoom. Why did they go fast?
Because they get added while the game's paused, but they don't get told that they're paused, so they start updating and adding forces.
Yes. They don't know that they are paused when they're created because it says, I'm going to go call this function. populate the world, just throws them in. The prefab says they're not paused, and it makes them according to the prefab. We need to also say, you, populator script, need to know if the game is paused or not. Is paused. Okay, and then if is paused, let's go talk to this object I just made. Go get the component called seek script. On pause game. Doesn't like it. It's red, which means I need to really make this public. Now it's better. So create this object and pause it. Does that work? Add more bots. Are they super speed or not? No, they're not. Hooray. Okay, questions about that piece? There's tons of other UI things you can add in. Panels to capture lots of buttons, to move them around at the same time, images, scroll bars, toggles, input fields. You can play with those. Each of them is going to have this idea of I react when something happens, and you can go throw the results to whatever functions you want. Does that make sense? Okay, so that gives us a lot of tools. We've got gizmos that can help you debug visually within the scene and even within the game to see where you're going, what's going on. We have these GUI components. We have a way to interact with the screen. And you should be now, hopefully, feeling better about your abilities to go make a mini game with some interaction. It doesn't have to just be a character control you drop in. You are much more in charge than you have been before. Okay, that took longer than I expected. I was hoping to get time to be able to wander around, help people with questions, but we've got 5 minutes. Anything you need, anything you feel like you're not ready for to go make something with steering behaviors. Let's see if these documents come back up.
I think
they might be getting hammered. Okay. Hey, there's still gizmos in Unity 5. Yay! We'll see what else changed.
It looks pretty much the same. That's all. Just a lot more. Some new features.
So there should not be a huge breaking of how it works, I hope. Hopefully, here's new stuff that was not in there before. Here's new smoothing ways to do stuff. Here's new shaders and all this other things. Hopefully, they don't get rid of game objects or something like that. You're like, oh crap.
It feels like they saved all these like extra features and everyone watching to see what Unreal did, and then they just matched them and then added to.